Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yes, welcome back.
This time we're tackling fitness habits.
That's right. Those unshakable routines that get you moving even when motivation is running low.
We're digging into two awesome sources today, Fitness Quest and
Sweat Soul Success.
I'm excited to unpack these and see what kind of gold nuggets we can pull out.
Me too. You know what's interesting? Both sources really highlight that it's not just about hitting the gym or following a specific diet plan.
Right. It's got to be deeper than that.
Yeah. It's about understanding your why, that deep personal reason that drives you.
Exactly. Like Fitness Quest gives this powerful example
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
about wanting to be there for your grandchildren.
Yeah, to see them grow up, to have the energy to play with them.
That's a powerful why.
It is. It becomes this internal driving force.
Like your own personal cheerleader.
Exactly. Pushing you beyond those days when you'd rather just stay in bed.
But Sweat Soul Success adds another layer to this.
They do. They kind of throw in a bit of a curveball.
Oh, in what way?
Well, they argue that motivation is great, don't get me wrong, but it can be fleeting.
Like a gust of wind.
Exactly. It comes and goes. What you really need to cultivate is discipline.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How do we build that kind of discipline? Does Fitness Quest touch on that?
They do. They have this great analogy about building discipline, like building muscle.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, just as you wouldn't expect to bench press 200 pounds on your first try, you can't expect to have ironclad discipline overnight.
It's a process.
It is. It takes consistent effort.
So each workout, each time we choose to move our bodies, is like a rep for that discipline muscle.
I love that analogy. It really makes those early morning sessions feel a lot more epic.
Right. And Fitness Quest suggests starting small, maybe committing to just one workout a week.
Yes, but the key is consistency. No skipping.
Even a small action done consistently strengthens that commitment.
Exactly. You're proving to yourself that you can follow through, which builds confidence.
Now, speaking of consistency, Fitness Quest seems to be a big advocate for morning workouts.
They are. There's a good reason for that.
I was wondering why that is.
Well, they argue that working out in the morning is all about minimizing distractions.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's about capitalizing on your willpower early in the day.
So before it gets drained by all the decisions we make throughout the day.
Exactly. They compare willpower to a battery. You start off with a full charge in the morning.
But as the day goes on,
That battery gets drained.
by the evening, it's on low power mode.
Right. So if you wait until the evening to work out, you're already running on fumes.
That's so true. For me, at least. By the end of the day, I'm just like Netflix and chill.
I hear you. But, not everyone is a morning person.
That's a good point.
Hmm.
What about those night owls? Any advice for them?
Absolutely. Fitness Quest emphasizes personalizing your approach.
So finding what works best for you.
Exactly. While they advocate for morning workouts, they also stress the importance of finding a time that you can consistently stick to.
Whether it's lunch breaks, evenings, or even late nights.
Right. The key is finding that sweet spot in your schedule.
Where you can make it happen without forcing yourself into a specific time slot.
Precisely. And this ties into another key point from Fitness Quest,
What's that?
tracking your progress.
Okay.
They recommend using habit tracker apps or even just logging your workouts.
It's like a visual reminder of your commitment.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's so motivating to see those little wins adding up.
Like watching your savings grow.
I love that analogy. Even a small deposit feels good.
Because you're moving in the right direction.
Exactly. Speaking of moving in the right direction, Fitness Quest also talks about focusing on one habit at a time.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They suggest focusing on one big goal, like working out 3 times a week.
And mastering that before adding anything else.
Right, this goes back to the willpower analogy.
Okay. I see the connection.
Trying to change too much at once can overwhelm that willpower battery.
And lead to burnout.
Exactly. It's like trying to build a house without a solid foundation.
You need that strong base before you can add the walls and roof.
Precisely. Focusing on one habit at a time allows you to fully invest your energy and focus.
Which increases your chances of success.
Absolutely. And you're building that foundation of discipline.
That will support all your future fitness endeavors.
You got it.
This is already making me rethink my approach. I usually try to change everything at once.
I've been there.
And then I wonder why I fizzle out so quickly.
It happens to the best of us.
But it sounds like a more sustainable approach is to focus on mastering one habit, building that discipline muscle.
And then moving on to the next challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Fitness Quest also brings up another crucial point.
With that.
Shifting from a goal-oriented mindset to a lifestyle-oriented one.
Ah, yes. That's a game changer.
Okay, I'm curious. What do they mean by that?
They're encouraging you to focus on being a person who works out regularly,
Okay.
rather than someone striving to achieve a specific goal.
Interesting. So instead of focusing on, say, running a marathon,
It's about embracing fitness as a continuous journey.
a part of who you are.
Exactly. And this shift in perspective can make your fitness journey much more sustainable and enjoyable.
Because it doesn't end when you hit a certain milestone.
Right. It becomes a way of life.
That makes a lot of sense. It takes the pressure off.
And it allows you to appreciate the process itself.
It's not about the destination. It's about enjoying the ride.
I love that. And speaking of enjoying the ride, Sweat Soul Success touches on this beautifully.
They do. How so?
They use the analogy of a woman running a marathon.
I think I remember reading that.
They say the real victory isn't the medal she hangs on the wall.
It's the unshakable belief she's built in herself.
That's it. The knowledge that she can do hard things.
That she's capable of more than she thought possible.
Exactly. It's about the internal transformation.
The resilience and confidence you build along the way.
Yes. The physical achievements are just a bonus.
It's like you're constantly expanding your own horizons, proving to yourself that you're stronger than you thought you were.
And that sense of accomplishment spills over into all areas of your life.
Boosting your confidence and motivation in everything you do.
It's like a chain reaction of positive energy.
All stemming from those disciplined actions we talked about earlier.
Amazing, right?
Now, speaking of those practical tips from Fitness Quest about setting small goals, tracking progress.
Right, and focusing on one habit at a time.
They even suggested starting with just one workout per week.
Yes, and gradually increasing the frequency.
It's all about building momentum, proving to yourself you can stick to those commitments.
Exactly. And each time you choose to work out, even when you don't feel like it, you're strengthening that discipline muscle.
Reinforcing the connection between your intentions and actions.
You're essentially training your brain to prioritize your long-term well-being.
Over those tempting shortcuts.
You got it.
It's like developing a superpower.
The power to resist those donuts, stay focused on your goals, and create the life you desire.
But let's be real, we don't live in a vacuum.
True that.
There are days when life throws curveballs, stress levels skyrocket, and those donuts look extra appealing.
Uh-huh. That's life.
How do we navigate those tricky situations?
That's where having a strong support system can be so valuable.
Like having a cheering squad for your fitness journey.
Exactly. Fitness Quest actually has built a whole community around this concept.
I can see how that would be helpful. Having like-minded people who encourage and motivate you.
It makes a huge difference.
Because it's so much easier to stay on track when you have people who understand your struggles and celebrate your victories.
Absolutely. And sometimes all it takes is one person to say, I believe in you.
To reignite that spark of motivation.
And help you push through those tough moments.
That's so true. It's a reminder that we're not alone in this journey.
We're all in this together.
Facing challenges, but having that support system can make all the difference.
Absolutely. And remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory.
We should celebrate those wins.
We should, even if they seem insignificant.
Because progress isn't always linear.
That's right. There will be setbacks and challenges.
But it's about getting back up, dusting yourself off, and continuing to move forward.
It's about embracing the journey with all its ups and downs.
Recognizing that each experience, whether positive or negative, is an opportunity for growth.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And building those unshakable fitness habits is a process, not a destination.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you, experimenting, adjusting, and constantly evolving.
Most importantly, it's about finding joy in the process.
Yes. When you enjoy what you're doing, it no longer feels like a chore.
It becomes a celebration of your body and your life.
I love that.
This has been such an inspiring conversation.
It has been.
I'm feeling motivated to keep exploring, keep pushing myself,
Me too.
and keep discovering new ways to make fitness a joyful and fulfilling part of my life.
That's fantastic. And remember, you have the power to create those unshakable habits, transform your body and mind.
And unlock our full potential.
You got it. Now, before we move on to our final segment,
where we'll be answering listener questions and offering personalized advice.
Yes, we have some great questions lined up.
Let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned today.
So much good stuff.
We've explored the importance of a strong why,
The power of discipline.
the value of tracking progress,
And the beauty of finding joy in the journey.
most importantly, we've emphasized that building those unshakable fitness habits is a personal journey.
It is. There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
It's about finding what works for you.
And creating a sustainable approach that fits your lifestyle.
So take a moment to think about what resonated with you most today.
What stood out?
What's one thing you can commit to doing differently to move closer to your fitness goals?
Write it down, commit to it.
And celebrate every victory along the way.
You deserve it. And get ready for our final segment where we'll be diving into your questions.
And offering even more personalized advice.
We'll be back in a flash.
Stay tuned. And we're back. Ready to tackle some listener questions. You know we love hearing from you guys.
Yeah, it's always so interesting to see how these concepts are resonating out there.
How people are applying them in their own lives.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in.
Okay, first up we have a question from Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
She says, I'm feeling overwhelmed by the thought of making all these changes at once. Where should I even begin?
That's so understandable, Sarah. I think a lot of people feel that way.
It can be a lot to take in, right?
It really can. But remember what we were talking about earlier with Fitness Quest?
About starting small.
Exactly. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight.
One step at a time.
Precisely. Pick one area you want to focus on. Maybe it's being more consistent with your workouts.
Or incorporating more veggies into your diet.
Right. Even those tiny changes can have a ripple effect.
Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately.
It's all about consistency. Those small wins will add up over time.
Like those tiny seeds we talked about.
Exactly. With consistent nurturing, they'll blossom into something amazing.
Okay, our next question comes from David.
All right, David, what do you have for us?
David says, I struggle with staying motivated, especially when I don't see results right away. Any tips?
Motivation can be tricky, David. It's like that gust of wind we were talking about.
From Sweat Soul Success.
Yeah, it comes and goes. What you really need to cultivate is that steady flame of discipline.
That's what keeps you going when the motivation fades.
Exactly. And to fuel that discipline, connect with your why.
That deep personal reason.
Right. Why is fitness important to you? What are you hoping to achieve?
Write it down. Visualize it. Remind yourself of it regularly.
It's like having your own personal mantra.
That keeps you focused and grounded.
Exactly. And remember, David, results take time.
It's a process.
Be patient, trust the process, and focus on building those consistent habits.
The results will come.
They will. And don't forget about tracking your progress.
Yes. Seeing those small wins can be so motivating.
Even if they seem insignificant.
It's proof that you're moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. Okay, we have time for one last question.
Let's do it.
This one's from Maria.
Okay, Maria.
She says, I get bored easily with my workouts. How can I make fitness more fun?
That's a great question. Fitness shouldn't feel like a chore.
I agree. It should be something you enjoy.
Something you look forward to.
So, Maria, think about activities that bring you joy. Do you love dancing, hiking, swimming?
Playing sports.
There are so many possibilities out there.
Experiment with different classes.
Join a gym.
Find a workout buddy.
Explore new trails.
Or even just blast your favorite music and dance around your living room.
The key is to make it fun and exciting.
When you find something you love, it no longer feels like a chore.
It becomes a celebration of your body and your life.
I love that. And who knows, you might even uncover a hidden passion along the way.
That's the beauty of exploration.
So there you have it, folks.
Whoa.
We've explored the power of having a strong why,
The importance of discipline.
the value of tracking progress.
And the magic of finding joy in the fitness journey.
Remember, building those unshakable fitness habits is a process, not a destination.
It's about finding what works for you and creating a sustainable approach that you can stick with for the long haul.
So what's one small step you can take today to move closer to your fitness goals?
Write it down, commit to it, and celebrate every victory along the way.
You're not alone on this journey. We're all in this together.
Cheering each other on every step of the way.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep moving, and keep embracing the incredible power within you. Well, that wraps up our listener questions for today.
Such great questions.
And as always, thank you to everyone who wrote in.
Yes, thank you for sharing your thoughts and your challenges.
We're all in this together.
We are. And remember, you are capable of amazing things.
Let's go out there and make it happen.
Keep exploring, keep moving, keep believing in yourself.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into building unshakable fitness habits. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.